Okay, so I grew up in East Africa, Tanzania. I grew up with a mom and dad, but sadly, my dad passed away when I was at a young age. My dad was different. You know, my dad grew up in a village where he grew up. It was a place where there's a lot of voodoo things happening. And then if you had like more than 3 sons, they'll kill the oldest one or something like that. And he was the oldest. So my grandma had to run away with my dad. And then my dad's actual nickname was called Msafiri, which means traveler in English. That's Swahili. And I grew up where my mom's side didn't get along with my dad's side. I'm talking about real, like fight. When he had 4 kids with my mom, he ran away, took off. You know, this was before I was even born. Hey, go back, and you know, when he went back, his business started working good and everything started, you know, going right. But I never knew what was in his head at that time. And I never had a chance to talk to him about it. I wanted to know why, you know, what came in his mind, what made him, you know, come back. I have family in the village areas, you know. I used to go visit my grandparents. When I say the village areas, this is where, you know, you see the animals, all the things you see in the movies, the lions. Let's say a whole block, right? It's full of family. Not even a whole block. Let's say it can be like 3 blocks. And everybody know each other. It's all family. Like my uncle lives here, my auntie lived there, and everybody lived there. And that was crazy for me. They didn't have water, they didn't have power, you know. And they were fine with that. I mean, they've been living like that for 40 years, 50 years plus. My grandparents is 80 years now. But they fit though. They've been farming their whole life. They've been eating healthy, eating organic food. They grew up their own food. It's one time we went back there. It's nighttime. It's telling us, all right, man, it's bedtime. We went to sleep and we heard like the house shaking and shaking. And we was like, what is going on? And he just told us to be quiet. He used to that. So elephants come at night and they pass through. And I was so scared. Cause yo, man, imagine seeing an elephant, bro. Just a real life elephant passing through your window right now. It's a beautiful thing growing up around that area, you know. Here they go, they don't have all these things. They don't have this clean water. They have to go to the river to get their water. They have to go farm for their own food. But their mind is so sharp. They're so strong. It's like the beautiful things are free at the same time. As far as growing up in Tanzania, it wasn't easy. We grew up in a place where, you know, they cut your power every day, and there's nothing you can do about it. You know, it's something normal. There's no running water. You gotta walk a few miles, you know, to get actually water. Growing up in just Africa, there's a lot of things that, you know, you don't get access to. One of the main things that we never even had access to was information. I mean, particularly, I had a good education. For the majority of people, I cannot speak the same. Religion is so big in Africa, so huge that it's mind control for people. We have beliefs, we have traditions, you know, we have fear of God. I always see my mom as my living God. You can ask that to any black African young man. We love, respect our mamas. You know, we have that fear for our mamas. Most people want to leave. That's the only escape we have. If you just leave Africa or you leave that environment you're in. One of the biggest things everybody says, I want to get my mama out the hood. Most of the kids out there, I would say, there's very low hope. There's very low hope.
So that means they resort to what?
Violence. I moved to San Francisco when I was 18. I just moved to LA like a few months ago. Most people out here are provided with opportunities, but at the same time, you have to go and fight for those opportunities. There was nothing I can do back home for as far as anything I wanted to do. Basketball, music, school. Africa is so damaged that, you know, it's a jungle. Everybody's trying to eat. We're not giving them opportunities, you know. People do have opportunities out here. Even in documentaries, you see this on YouTube. These people talk about all this daycare and all this rah-rah and act like they really do in the cameras, but they don't. You get these white people that go, man. Some of them, they're not even that rich. They just take a trip out there and they change people's life out there. I respect that, man, because most people won't do it, man. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna become the greatest I've ever been. I'm gonna help my people at fully extent with not just things I can give, but knowledge I can provide, awareness. It's your heart. You can say all that, man, and all this and preach all that, but at the end of the day, it's your actions and your heart. And that's what we stand on.